So, the other day I was speaking to Nilamani Prabhu, and Nilamani Prabhu just told me that for a long time I have come to Twaiko, and I have to come and give a seminar. So I naturally have to comply. Now I was wondering what to speak on. And then I thought, what can be a better topic than discussing about Krishna's pastimes, especially in this very auspicious Damodar month. And also Krishna's pastimes are vast, expansive. And so I thought I'll just stick to Krishna's Vrindavan pastimes. But Prabhupada time and time again reminded us about being careful about Krishna's Vrindavan pastimes. Especially, it leads to Krishna's relationship with the gopis, which is the crux of the 10th canto, the crux of Krishna's pastimes. Therefore, Prabhupada gave us a very systematic process of approaching Bhagavad Gita. What do we understand in Bhagavad Gita? In Bhagavad Gita, you get a clear understanding that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Especially through Srila Prabhupada's Bhaktivedanta purports. That's why it's very important that we study Bhagavad Gita very carefully as our preliminary study. Krishna himself is speaking. And when it comes to speaking about himself, we can see Krishna is hesitating. How can one blow his own trumpet? I'm this, I'm that. So Krishna is hesitating. Sometimes he is saying in an indirect way, Ishvara sarva bhutanam vriddhasya arjuna tishtati. He is not saying, I am situated in everyone's heart. In a way it is true, like when you look at it, Krishna himself is not situated in everyone's heart. Krishna's expansion as the super soul is situated in everyone's heart. But in this way we can see that Krishna is hesitating about revealing his actual identity. But still we get a clear understanding from Bhagavad Gita. From Bhagavad Gita it becomes clear that our actual identity is spiritual. We are not this material body. Although we tend to identify ourselves with this body, but our actual identity is not the body. That I am not this body. I am identifying myself with the body because I am in the body. And when I leave the body becomes dead. So, in this way we can see that our actual identity is spiritual. So that takes us to another aspect. Beyond this material nature, there is another reality, the spiritual reality, spiritual nature. And the characteristic of the identity of the soul has been described. And then Krishna is revealing his identity, who he is. He is the supreme spiritual personality. And then Krishna is giving us various instructions, moral, social, ethical, philosophical, all these various aspects of instructions have been given But finally Krishna is making the point. Surrender unto me. The goal of life is to surrender unto me. Why? Because I am the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And when you surrender unto me, then all your problems will be solved. All your problems will be solved. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami. Our problems are actually pap, sinful activities. Pious activities don't create problem. Our sinful activities cause the problem. Therefore Krishna is saying, I'll deliver you from all your sinful reactions. That means your life will be free from difficulties. But then at the end he is saying, Ma suchaha. Ma suchaha. What's the meaning of Ma suchaha?
Don't worry.
Don't worry about it. What you'll get is way beyond this becoming free from sinful reactions. That is, becoming sinful reactions will be that means you'll be nicely situated in the material nature. But what is beyond that? If you surrender unto me, then you'll get out of this material nature. Liberation. Piety gives us enjoyment. But no matter how much we enjoy this material nature, suffering is inevitable. It's bound to come. Just as after the day, the night is going to come. We cannot avoid that. And sometimes the night may be longer, like right now, in the northern hemisphere. And sometimes the night may be smaller, shorter. But night is bound to come. So suffering is bound to be in this material life. Therefore the consideration is, get out of the material nature, get out of this suffering condition. Liberation. And Krishna is pointing out that what he'll get is even way beyond liberation. Your relationship your loving relationship with me. And that loving relationship is a source of joy. Ananda. So Krishna did not mention about that in Bhagavad Gita. Therefore you need to go to Srimad Bhagavatam. Krishna is hesitating to speak about himself. But Krishna's devotees, when they speak about Krishna, then there is no limit to what they want to, how they glorify Krishna. And that is what Srimad Bhagavatam is. Devotees' glorification of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So the clear understanding of the Supreme Personality of Godhead comes from Srimad Bhagavatam. Therefore these two books are essential. Now when we approach Srimad Bhagavatam again, canto by canto, not jump to 10th canto, first canto, second canto, third canto. And this will gradually approach Krishna from his lotus feet. First and second canto are his lotus feet. Third and fourth canto are his thighs. Fifth canto is his abdomen. Sixth canto is his chest. Seventh and eighth canto are his arms. Ninth canto is his neck. 10th canto is the smiling lotus face. So don't just go straight to his lotus face, because you may fail to recognize who he actually is. And therefore, first Bhagavad Gita, then Srimad Bhagavatam, canto by canto. And this is how we actually become qualified to enter into Krishna's pastimes. And here also we have to see, Prabhupada gave us the Krishna book. So indicating that yes, you can get into Krishna's pastimes directly with proper understanding, with his Bhaktivedanta purport. Now because the purpose of Srimad Bhagavatam is to recognize Krishna. Recognizing Krishna means recognizing Krishna in Vrindavan. So Vrindavan Krishna is the original Krishna. Original Krishna means the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. Aradha Bhagavan Brajeshwar Tanai. The Supreme Worshipable Personality of Godhead is the son of Nanda Maharaj. What does it indicate? That Supreme Personality of Godhead is the son of Vasudeva and Devaki. The original Supreme Personality of Godhead is the son of Nanda Maharaj and Mother Yashoda. Aradha Bhagavan Brajeshwar Tanai. Now, emphatically being pointed out, Tadhamo Vrindavanam. His abode is Vrindavan. Not Krishna of Mathura, not Krishna of Dwarka, not Krishna of Kurukshetra. Krishna of Vrindavan. Brajeshwatanai. Tadhamo Vrindavanam. So this is how, by our previous acharyas, Krishna's identity is being established. And that Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, whose abode is Vrindavan, that is the Supreme Personality of Godhead from Vrindavan, he doesn't come that frequently. He doesn't come in every yuga. He comes only once in a day of Brahma. That means once in 1,000 Chaturjugas. He comes once. And that also has been identified. When Krishna comes, what is the specific time? That is the Vedas. The Vedas are giving us very, very clear and precise and distinct understanding. Krishna comes in the 7th Manvantar. In a day of Brahma, there are 14 Manus. They come with their batch of demigods, sages, and other entourage. So in the 7th one is Vaivashvata Manvantar. And in this 7th millennium, 7th Manvantar, on the 20 out of 71, a Manu's reign is 71 Manvantars. And out of the 71 on the 28th Manvantar, when 27 Manvantars go by, 28th Manvantar, there are 28, after 27th Manvantar, Yuga, 28th Chaturjuga, in the Dwapar Yuga, towards the end, Krishna comes. Towards the end means when Krishna withdraws his pastimes, Dwapar Yuga ends, Kali Yuga begins. So this is how precisely it has been pointed out when Krishna exactly comes. And appearing in the 7 Manvantars, 28 Chaturjugas, Dwapar Yuga, Krishna reveals his Braja Leela. Now, interesting thing also is that Krishna, after revealing his Braja Leela, then again he comes in the following Kali Yuga, in order to make us understand what is the specialty of Krishna's Braja Leela. That what is the speciality of this personality of Krishna, this personality of Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is why Krishna has to come as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Charitamrita describes it in this way. Jatheshtu bihari Krishna kare antardhan. After abundantly performing his pastimes, Krishna antardhan. Antardhan means disappears. Krishna withdraws his pastimes and goes back to the spiritual world. Kare antardhan. Antardhan kori mone kare anuman. After withdrawing his pastimes, Krishna considers him in himself. Chirokal nahi kori prema bhakti dan. In Vrindavan, Krishna is revealing prema bhakti. And he says that this prema bhakti I don't reveal all the time. Only in this particular pastimes I reveal what prema bhakti is. But generally, people serve me through following Vaidhi Bhakti. But Vidhi Bhakti, Krishna Prem Dite Nareshwar. Vaidhi Bhakti cannot give Krishna Prem. Now here's the catch. One catch, Krishna is saying that Chaturvidha Mukti Paya, Vaikuntha Jaya Chaturvidha Mukti Paya. By performing Vaidhi Bhakti, when one achieves perfection, he goes to Vaikuntha. Now Vrindavan is beyond Vaikuntha. So when one goes to Vaikuntha and gets stuck there is no way to go to Vrindavan. There is a way to go to Vrindavan that we find in Brihad Bhagavatamrita. That in Brihad Bhagavatamrita is pointing out that how can one actually go from Vaikuntha to Vrindavan. From Vaikuntha one has to come down to the earth planet. And in this earthly Vrindavan one has to perform Sankirtan. Sankirtan means calling out to Krishna with all the love of your heart. And that actually qualifies one to go to Vrindavan. Anyway, so we can see that Krishna is telling or considering Vaidhi Bhakti cannot give one Krishna Prem. But the catch is, Rupa Goswami is saying, Shruti, Shriti, Shruti, Smriti, Puranadi, Pancharatra Vidhing Vina, Vaikantiki Harer Bhaktir, Utpataiva Kalpate. Simple words. If without following Vaidhi Bhakti, even one performs earnest devotional service, it will simply create disturbance. So that means what is pointing out? Devotional service must be following Vaidhi Bhakti. Now, Vaidhi Bhakti means worshipping Krishna through following the rules and regulations. Then one will go to Vaikuntha. So how will one enter into Vrindavan? By worshipping the devotee Krishna through Vaidhi Bhakti. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is served through Vaidhi Bhakti, then one goes to Vrindavan. How and why, I won't get into that right now. It's another topic. Maybe someday we'll do that. So the way is, so in simple words you can understand, worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead through Vaidhi Bhakti, one will go to Vaikuntha. Worshipping the devotee Supreme Personality of Godhead through Vaidhi Bhakti, one will go to Vrindavan. So that is why Krishna came as a devotee, to create this create this opportunity for the living entities. Anyway, since I mentioned it briefly, I'll just point out how it is. How devotee Krishna worship through Vaidhi Bhakti qualifies one to go to Vrindavan. How many types of devotional service are there? Vaidhi Bhakti and Raganuga Bhakti. Raganuga Bhakti. What is the definition of Raganuga? It's a sandhi, conjunction of two words, Rag and Anuga. Rag means pure love of the heart. Pure, unalloyed love for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Residents of Vrindavan are the Ragatmika Bhaktas. Ragatmika. All they have is simple love for Krishna, nothing else. When Krishna was kidnapped by the residents of Vrindavan from Kurukshetra, Rukmini Devi came there. And it was a big crime. As it is, kidnapping is a crime. And kidnapping the prince, can you imagine what kind of a crime it was? And the residents of Vrindavan had done that, kidnapped the prince. So Rukmini said, they have to be chastised, they have to be punished. She came with the soldiers, surrounded Vrindavan, and arrested the residents of Vrindavan. Brajavasis, those who stole Krishna away, kidnapped Krishna. And now the judgment is being conducted. And the question came then, why Krishna? Actually, in the judgment it was pointed out, no, they didn't kidnap Krishna. Krishna himself wanted to go to Vrindavan, so they assisted Krishna. So there is a difference between kidnapping and assisting. Right? Okay, fine. Then, now the question came that in Dwarka all the opulence is there. Then why Krishna's heart is always in Vrindavan? During the daytime he is absent-minded all the time, as if his mind is somewhere else. Where? In Vrindavan. At night in sleep he dreams and calls out to as if he is transported into Vrindavan. So that means Krishna is always in Vrindavan. So Rukmini Devi's question was that Dwarka has all the opulence, but why Vrindavan is just a forest, at the most it's a village. Why Krishna is so attracted to Vrindavan? And the answer was that the residents of Vrindavan has only love for Krishna. They don't want anything else, because in Vrindavan the trees are Kalpavriksha, the cows are Surabhi cows, the land is Chintamani. They could have anything there, have all the opulence that if they wanted to. But they are not concerned about the opulence, they are simply concerned about their love. Due to their love, they don't want anything. So that is the meaning of Ragatmika Bhakti. Rag Atmika. Besides love, they don't have any other consideration. All they have is pure love for Krishna. So now, residents of Vrindavan are Ragatmika Bhaktas. And Anuga means? So the devotion that is conducted by following the residents of Vrindavan is called Raganuga Bhakti. Okay, now Krishna came as a devotee. How? For taking the mood of Srimati Radharani. That means Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Radharani. So when you are following Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who are you following? So you see how following Chaitanya Mahaprabhu through Vaidhi Bhakti is automatically being transformed into Raganuga Bhakti. Once I gave a seminar on this topic. You know why? Because there are some people who are claiming that Prabhupada didn't give us everything. Therefore we have to go to them to get the higher things. Prabhupada gave the ABCD. But to get the higher studies, we have to, or get the higher stuff, we have to go to them. And that's why I gave a seminar on this. Prabhupada gave, the topic was Prabhupada gave us everything, including Raganuga Bhakti. And now we can see when they try to give practice Raganuga Bhakti directly as such, Utpataiva Kalpate. You can see what kind of utpat, what kind of disturbance it created. Immature, unqualified individuals have been led into that. And the result is the spiritual life was badly damaged. Therefore, there is no need to go anywhere else. Prabhupada gave us everything. Just follow Srila Prabhupada's instructions and you will go to Vrindavan. It's guaranteed. Anyway, let's go back to our main topic. So, therefore it is very important to recognize Krishna's identity before we actually enter into Brajalila. The other day, one topic actually came up. It's a little harsh, but still I will point out. This actually happened in Philadelphia. Ravindra Sarup Prabhu told us. There was an Indian professor in the university there. And so when Prabhupada came to Philadelphia, Ravindra Swarup Prabhu thought that it would be nice to get this person meet Srila Prabhupada. And so this person came, and in course of the discussion, this person started to tell Srila Prabhupada that Krishna's dealings with the gopis were immoral, unethical. The Prabhupada was trying to point out that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is the proprietor of everyone. So if a proprietor enjoys something, what's wrong in that? And another thing in that we must remember in going into Vrindavan pastimes, you see, sex desire is a very gross materialistic act. This material nature is a prison house. In a prison house, one is tied down with shackles. Now, in this prison house of material nature, how is one tied down? Tied down with sex desire. Therefore, this material nature is called Maithunagara, the prison house of sex desire. So if one wants to become free from this material bondage, he has to become free from sex desire. Even the impersonalists, those who want to merge into Brahmajyoti, they also have to become free from sex desire. So to become free from this material nature and enter into the spiritual world, one has to become totally free from sex desire. Then what's the question of sex desire in the spiritual world? With the Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself. Anyway, so this person still kept on insisting that, and Prabhupada was trying to, and then finally Prabhupada became so upset, he just shouted at him. He said, "Your relationship with your wife is immoral because you have stolen Krishna's property and enjoying her." Brahmananda Maharaj was there. He said, told that person, "You better leave now." So anyway, this is the point. Like, we have to understand that there is no tinge of sex desire in the relationship between Krishna and the gopis. With that understanding, we actually have to approach that domain. It is Krishna's pastimes. It's Krishna's pastimes. His dealings, these are the loving exchange in the highest platform. Anyway, so I just wanted to make this point clear, following Srila Prabhupada's instructions before we get into Krishna's pastimes. And Krishna's childhood pastimes are very sweet. Don't you naturally like children? They're so sweet, innocent. Even when they're mischievous, it is so nice. So you can well imagine how wonderful, how sweet is Krishna's childhood pastimes. Like Krishna in Vrindavan, he is playing, he's just born. And so attractive, so beautiful. So that's another thing about Krishna, he's all attractive, no matter in whichever he is. I mean, what to speak of, as a newborn baby. Even Krishna came as a fish, he's all attractive. Even when he came as a boar, he's all attractive. Even when he came as half lion, half man, he's all attractive. What to speak of the Supreme Personality of Godhead as a child? We can well imagine how attractive Krishna is. But there are individuals who are inimical towards Krishna. And that was Kamsa. Background of Kamsa. In the previous life, Kamsa was Kalnemi, a demon. During the churning of the milk ocean, to get the nectar, Kalnemi was killed by Vishnu. And he wanted to take revenge. Yeah, so he was killed, but Sukracharya had the Mrita Sanjeevani potion. Like, Mrita means dead. Sanjeevani means reviving, giving life again. So Shukracharya could even revive a dead person. So Kalnemi was revived by Shukracharya. And this time he decided that he must take revenge. So with that attitude he went to the Vinda mountain and Mandar mountain, and he started to perform severe austerity. And then, in the next life, he was born as Kamsa. With this inimical attitude towards the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Kamsa, during the wedding of Devaki and Vasudeva, was driving the chariot. He heard a forecast from the sky saying that Devaki's 8th child is going to kill him. And Kamsa was so cruel, so heinous that he killed the newborn baby, one after another. 6 children were killed from Devaki. The 7th one was Balaram, and Jogamaya transplanted Balaram from Devaki's womb to Rohini's womb. Therefore he is known as Shankarshan. And then Krishna came. There's beautiful descriptions in Srimad Bhagavatam how when Krishna was in the womb of his mother, although she was extremely beautiful, she became even more beautiful and even more effulgent. And Kamsa could see that something wonderful must be happening in her womb. And he was waiting to kill that child as soon as he was born. But as you know, what actually happened, Krishna was transferred to Nanda Maharaja's house. Jasoda Mai gave birth to a baby girl. The girl was brought to Kamsa, and Kamsa was about to kill that girl, in spite of all the appeal from Vasudeva. But when Kamsa tried to smash the child in the stone floor, she slipped out of his hands and went up in the sky, assumed her 8-armed form of Vrindavan, and she actually announced that Kamsa, you won't be able to kill me. But the one who is going to kill you has already appeared. So it's only a matter of time. And so Kamsa became aware that the 8th child is somewhere else. So he decided, he gave order, command, kill all the children that are born within 10 days or even beyond 10 days. So there was massive killing of children by Kamsa's associates. Then Putana got to know that in the house of Nanda Maharaj a child was born. So when Putana went to kill, she assumed beautiful form. So beautiful that they started to wonder who this person is. Is this Lakshmi Devi came to see her husband? Is this some demigod? Is this Sachi, Indra's wife? So they all kept on speculating, like who this person can be so beautiful. And when one sees such a beautiful person, a woman, one doesn't expect anything, any harm from that person. So she had an easy access to the inner core of the house, where Mother Yashoda and other ladies were there with Krishna. And they also were struck with wonder. Who is this beautiful woman? And she took the baby. She just, please let me take the baby in my lap. Yes, take it. And she came with an intent to kill Krishna, smearing her breasts with the deadliest poison. And she kind of, as if, out of affection, she wanted to offer her breast to the child. And Krishna accepted. But Krishna thought, the first one that I have to kill is a woman. In Ram Leela also, the first demon that Krishna Ramchandra had to kill is Tarka. So, therefore Krishna closed his eyes. He didn't want to see her face. And while sucking her breast, Krishna sucked her life air. Now Putana, screaming, ran out of the house, assumed her original gigantic form of a demoness, Rakshashi, and crying, let me go, let me go. But Krishna was just hanging on to her dress. Krishna made her run out of the city, out of the village, because there was a consideration that if she falls, her huge, gigantic body would damage many houses and kill many people. So that Krishna made her run out of the village, went to the field, and there she fell. And everyone was in great anxiety. They just came running. What happened? What happened to the child? This Rakshashi has taken the child away. But then they found the body, huge body of Putana was lying on the field. Then Krishna is happily playing on her chest. So that was the first demon that Krishna killed. He came to Vinashaya Dushkritam, to kill the demons and protect the devotees, Paritranaya Sadhunam. But, that was the first one that Krishna had to kill. And then then they decided to burn Putana's body, but such a huge body, there was no way to burn it. So they cut her body with axe in small pieces, and the body was burnt. But the amazing thing is that by being having the touch of Krishna's, having the touch of Krishna, she became purified. And when her body was burning, a beautiful fragrance permeated throughout. So that is the advantage of being even killed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this is how the Krishna's childhood pastimes, the killing of Putana. And first, of course, is giving the joy to the residents of Vrindavan, especially the gopis. Because they are actually taking care of Krishna all the time. And then Krishna grew up a little bit. He's crawling on his 4 2 hands and 2 feet. He couldn't quite stand. But Krishna and Balaram would stand holding onto the calf's tail. And when they would do that, then all of a sudden, having this kind of a contact with someone, the calves would become afraid and they would run. And Krishna and Balaram would hold on to their calf and be dragged by the calves. Mother Jashoda, seeing that, used to call everybody, come see the wonderful sight, how these 2 little boys are playing the calves. And in this way Krishna started to grow up. When he grew up a little bit, Krishna started to go to different houses of the gopis and steal butter. Not only steal butter, they would let the calves loose. The first act was let the calves loose. And all the calves would just go and start to drink the milk. Now calves are not supposed to drink all the milk of the cows. They drink some milk and the rest of the milk is meant for human beings. But these calves would just drink all the milk. And the gopis would come and complain, look, Krishna did that, with Balaram and other children. There's a very beautiful description in Garga Samhita of Krishna's this butter thief pastime. One day, one gopi, Mother Jashoda's friend, came and complained, Mother Jashoda, Krishna does this kind of mischief in my house. He comes with all his friends and they climb on top of the other, reach the butter pots, lower the butter pots, eat the butter, and then when they become full, then they feed the butter to the monkeys. When the monkeys also become full, they would say that this butter is so useless that even the monkeys don't want to eat it. And saying that they would break all the pots. And then they would go and pinch my sleeping child. And when he would wake up crying, they would run away. So Mother Jashoda said, but Krishna was with me all the time. Gopi said, am I lying? Do you think I'm lying? Mother Jashoda said, no, I'm not implying that. I'm saying that at that time Krishna was with me all the time. So when he did that, Gopi said, fine, I will. Next time he goes there, I'll catch him and bring him to you. Then I'll probably believe me. Mother Jashoda quietly said, okay, yeah, please do that. So then one day Krishna came to that house of the gopi. The gopi was waiting. So Krishna came, did all that, let the calves loose, entered into the house, climbed onto each other's back, lowered the pots, ate the butter, fed the monkeys, and when the monkeys would not eat anymore, they saying that this butter is so bad that even the monkeys don't want to eat it, and saying that they broke the pots and woke up the sleeping child, pinching the child. And when the child started to cry, suddenly being pinched like that in his sleep, so they were just laughing, they were running out of the house. The gopi called Krishna. Said, okay, now I caught you. Come, I'll take you to your mother. Krishna started to plead, please, don't take me to my mother. And I promise I'll never come to your house. No, your mother called me a liar the other day. So today I'll prove to her that all I said was the truth and nothing but the truth. And Krishna, please, if you take me to my mother will get very angry. She'll not only chastise me, but she may even beat me up. So please let me go. Gopi just would not listen. Picked Krishna up on her shoulder, on her back, carried Krishna to Mother Yashoda. Said, see, do you believe me this time? What I told you the other day was the truth and nothing but the truth. Mother Yashoda started to laugh. I caught him red-handed, I brought him to you, and other day you denied that you said that your son couldn't do all that things. And now that I brought him to you, you are laughing. What's the matter with you, Yashoda? My Yashoda said, see who you brought. She looked up. She is carrying her own son. She couldn't understand what happened. She could still hear Krishna's voice ringing in her ears. Please let me go. I promise I'll never come to your house. If you take me to my mother will get very angry with me. And now she's seeing that she's carrying her own child, but what to do? Like, she's totally embarrassed, with a heavy heart and drooping head. She just started to walk towards the house. Then all of a sudden she heard someone laughing. It's Krishna again. And she just started to tell Krishna, Krishna is such a rascal. I took you to your mother and you became my son. Krishna said, I had to do something in self-defense. So, anyway, this time I became your son. Next time you catch me and take me to my mother, I'll become your husband. So, iti driksha lilabhir ananda kunde shaghosham nimajjantam. In this way, performing his pastimes, Krishna drowns his devotees in an ocean of ecstasy. That is the purpose of his pastimes. Through his pastimes, he himself enjoys and he makes his devotees also enjoy. The main purpose of his pastimes is actually to give pleasure to his devotees. Prabhupada pointed out that killing the demons is not really a big thing. Krishna doesn't really come to kill the demons. He could kill the demons by so many other means. And even Krishna himself doesn't kill the demons. It is Vishnu in Krishna that kills the demons, because Krishna's business is not to kill the demons. That's, some Krishna's purpose is simply to enjoy. Therefore Krishna is Leelamai. Krishna is Leela Purushottam. Therefore we must understand that all that Krishna does is simply to give pleasure to his devotees. All his pastimes. And the demons are there because that's also another aspect of giving pleasure, giving delight. Like, in a way, Krishna's pastimes can be considered like a drama. Do you know what makes a good drama? A good drama must have a few features. One feature of a good drama is conflict. Because So a drama must have, along with the hero, there must be a villain. And there is a conflict between the villain and the demon. I mean, the villain and the hero. And when that happens, what does it do? It creates excitement. So here comes the 7 secondary mellows. The 5 principal mellows, Santa, Dasya, Sakha, Vatsalya and Madhu. So these are sthai bhav. Those mellows are constant. Like individuals are situated in this mellows. Some is as a friend. A friend will always be a friend. Some is parents. Parents will always be parents and so forth. But the 7 secondary mellows, they actually churn the emotions. Those 7 secondary mellows are hashya, humor, adbhut, wonder, surprise, veera, chivalry, rodra, anger, bibhatsa, frightened, bibhatsa, ghastly, bhayanak, frightening, karun, pathos. So, in this way, like a good drama must have this combination of these things that actually churn our emotions. Like one aspect is, one principal aspect of drama is conflict. There must be a hero and a villain and heroine. Now see, with the heroine in the center, villain is acting. And that is causing a conflict between the hero and the villain. And eventually what happens? The hero beats up the villain. How do you feel when you see that the villain is getting beaten up? So actually you can say that the mundane dramas are actually reflection of Krishna's pastimes. Krishna's pastimes are the perfect drama in that sense. Krishna is acting like it. And all they are, those who are playing in those roles, they're Krishna's associates actually. Even the villains are Krishna's associates. Example, when a king enacts a drama, in the drama there will be different characters. Now who will play in those dramas? Just Tom, Dick and Harry? No. The king's men will play different roles. Therefore, in this drama or in Krishna's pastimes, different associates of Krishna actually play different roles. And after, when the actors and actresses play their role very nicely, what does the king do? King rewards them. So similarly, Krishna rewards them. Promotion. Example, Jai and Vijay. They were at the gate of Vaikuntha, meaning they were not quite inside Vaikuntha. They were outside Vaikuntha. But they played their role so nicely. They played their role so nicely in 3 different dramas. Right? In Satyajuga, Tretajuga, Dwaparajuga, that in the 4th one, he was promoted to Golok Navadip. Like these 2 brothers, and not brothers actually, they were cousins. And they became devotees. And becoming a devotee of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu means having access to Vrindavan. So see, from the outside of Vaikuntha, promoted to Jagai and Madhai, promoted to Navadvip, and when one is promoted to Navadvip, that means he has access to Vrindavan and so on. That's another thing about being a follower of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The residents of Vrindavan may not have access to Navadvip, but the residents of Navadvip, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu associates, have access to Vrindavan. So this is how Krishna performs his pastimes in Vrindavan with his devotees, and Krishna's childhood pastimes. Another wonderful pastimes is Mother Jashoda began to wonder why Krishna, like say, they're complaining, so must be Krishna doing something. Krishna must be going and stealing. Going to their house and doing, otherwise so many of them, they cannot be possibly lying. So she began to wonder, what's the matter? In my house there is so much butter. And why then Krishna goes to other houses? Is it because my butter is not tasty enough? That's why Krishna goes to other houses to steal their butter. So Mother Jashoda decided to make some very special butter. She selected the best cow. She fed the cow with the best grass. She collected the milk. She decided to make the butter out of that milk. And she was churning the butter. And then Krishna came while she was churning the butter. She came. Krishna was about 4 years old at that time. Just grabbed his mother by her legs when she was standing. And Mother Jashoda looked down upon him, and she could understand that Krishna wanted to drink her breast milk. So she stopped churning, took Krishna, started to feed Krishna. Then all of a sudden, she remembered that the milk was boiling on the fire, on the stove. So she quickly took Krishna out of her lap and ran to take the milk. Krishna was shocked. So happily he was drinking his mother's milk. And see what happened. All of a sudden, she just dropped him and ran somewhere. So Krishna became very upset and he started to cry, look how my mother treated me. And then he felt very, very angry. There was the big deal about that milk. I was drinking her milk. What's the use of that milk? And that milk is also meant for me. He knew all that happened. So he felt so angry that there was found a stone there and just threw the stone onto that clay pot in which matka that she was making the buttermilk. So the clay pot broke, flooding the whole room with buttermilk, yogurt, butter. And then Krishna ran to the next room. And he decided to do the same mischief in his own house now. The friends were not there, so he took the mortar and standing on top of the mortar, he actually was lowering the butter. In the meantime, Mother Jashoda came in and saw what happened. She realized it must be Krishna. She felt this child has become so naughty. So she picked up a stick. They used a stick to separate the butter from the yogurt. Took that one. And she went to the next room and saw Krishna in the process of about to steal the butter. And Krishna also saw his mother. Jashoda bhi alukhalad dhavumanam. Seeing Mother Jashoda, he jumped out of the Alukhala mortar and ran. Mother Yashoda also ran after him. Can you imagine how beautiful the sight it is? Look, Krishna running, Mother Yashoda after him, and it's described Mother Yashoda could run that fast because of her heavy waist and heavy breasts. So she was then Krishna. Then finally she caught Krishna. Rudantam muhur netram jugmam vijantam. So seeing the stick in her hand, he became afraid. And shatanka netram, with the frightened eyes, he started to look at Mother Yashoda. And with the back of his hands, he started to wipe the tears. Rudantam muhur netram jugmam vijantam. Karam bhoja jugmena shatanka netram. Started to wipe the tears from his frightened eyes. And Mother Yashoda felt, yes, it's not good to scare him so much. So she dropped the stick. But still she felt that some chastisement, some reprimandation must be there. Like, this boy is becoming too naughty. So she decided, okay, I won't frighten you, but I'm going to tie you up. The mortar that you climbed on to steal the butter, I'll tie you up in the same mortar. So she wanted to tie Krishna up. Then you know what happened? I'm sure you know. The rope was 2 fingers too short. No matter how much ropes it took, always 2 fingers too short. And you can well imagine how much rope was there. There in the house they had 90 million cows. And the 9 million cows, 90 lakhs. And so much rope. But she could tie Krishna up, and she was completely exhausted. She was sweating, and seeing that, she was determined, somehow I have to tie him up. And in the process she became so exhausted, and Krishna felt, okay, my mother is exhausted enough, so let me allow her to tie me up. And so Mother Yashoda tied up Krishna by the rope. Namastestu damne suratidhane tadiyodarayatha vishvashodhamne. Your belly, which is the abode of the entire creation. So, how did Mother Yashoda buy? Was it with the rope? No. Bhakti Baddham. She tied Krishna up with her devotion. So in this way she tied Krishna up and went to attend her daily chores. And Krishna stood there for some time, tied up to the mortar. And he got bored standing there. So he pulled the mortar, and the mortar fell, and now it looked like 2 wheels. And so she started to drag the mortar tied up to his waist. And in the meantime, all the childhood friends also have gathered there. And they were exciting Krishna. Krishna, run faster, run faster. Clapping. And Krishna just started to go around as if he invented a new game now. And then Krishna thought that, let me go through these 2 trees. There are 2 huge Arjun trees in that house, in the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj. So Krishna passed through the trees, in between the trees, but then the mortar got stuck. Krishna pulled, and both the trees just fell. Fell with a thunderous sound. Everybody wondered what happened. happened? Mother Jashoda came out running and she saw all of a sudden these two trees fell. There was no wind, no storm. All of a sudden these trees fell. And her first thought was, my God, what happened to my child? And she was relieved to see that Krishna was safe in between the trees. And everyone started to wonder, how did the tree fall? And these little boys started to tell them what happened. Krishna went through the thing and then the mortar got stuck there. And then Krishna pulled, as Krishna pulled, the tree fell. Trees fell. And then as the tree fell, two personalities, effulgent, beautiful, ornamented, beautifully dressed, beautifully crowned personalities came out. And with folded hands they said something to Krishna. And some started to think that these children are so expert in making stories. Some thought that maybe this is true because we are performing all kinds of wonderful things. Maybe what these children are saying is true. It happened. But what was the reality? These two personalities that came out of the trees are Kubera's two sons, Nala Kuber and Manikri. Kuberatmajo Baddha Murtaiva Jatvat Taya Mochito Bhakti Bhajo Kritocha Tatha Prema Bhaktin Sakha Viprajacha Namokshe Graho Mesti. These are the two sons of Kubera, Nala Kubera and Manigriv. Just as rich man's son get often spoiled. Now you can really imagine Kuber, what kind of wealth he had. He is the treasurer of the demigods. So, inconceivably wealthy person. So his two sons are naturally spoiled. So they were sporting with the celestial damsels, Apsaras, in the Mandakini celestial Ganga. And at that time Narad Muni just happened to pass by there. And seeing Narad Muni, all the girls just came out of the water and covered themselves. But Nala Kuber and Manigri were so drunk that they didn't have their minds straight, they didn't know. So they just kept on standing there naked, shameless. So Narad Muni felt that these two characters are not qualified to stay in the heavenly planets. So he cursed them, go to the earth planet and stand there naked as two trees. If that's how you want to stand, just stand there. Through rain and storm and sun and wind, you just stand there. So when they heard the curse, then they came back to their senses. They fell at Narad Muni's feet. Please, please, withdraw your curse. We are so sorry that we acted in that way. So Narad Muni said that the words that goes out of my mouth is bound to come true. My words will never go in vain. But anyway, when Krishna will appear, then he will deliver you. So that's why these two sons of Kubera, Nala Kubera and Manigriv, were born or appeared as two Arjun trees in the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj. And this is how Krishna delivered them. Kuberat Mujo Baddha Murte Vrajatva Taya Mochito. Please deliver me also in the same way. Taya Mochito, and offer me Bhakti Bhaju Vitoja. Tatha prema bhakti shakami pradecha. So this way we can see the curse of a devotee also becomes a benediction in the long run. Although they were cursed by Narad Muni, but the reward was that they got Krishna prema bhakti. That also led to another pastime. Krishna, Balaram and other boys were playing. Then Balaram came and reported to Mother Yashoda, Mommy, Mother, Krishna had been eating dirt and mud today. Then Mother Yashoda, then Krishna said, Mother, that's a lie, I didn't do that. Balaram said that, okay, ask everybody. All this, they were witnesses. Actually, they all got upset with me and they packed together to complain to you. I didn't eat the mud. So Mother Yashoda said, okay, let me see. Open your mouth. And when he opened his mouth, what did Mother Yashoda see? She saw the entire universe, entire creation, including all different demigods, all different aspects of the creation, including even him and his mother. So this is Vishwashadhamni. Krishna's belly is actually the abode of the entire creation. So Mother Yashoda was totally surprised. Oh, what did I see? What did I see? But then again, Yogamaya overwhelmed her, and she came back with him, and as if she forgot everything that she saw in Krishna's mouth, and started to treat Krishna. So in this way, Krishna performed his childhood pastimes, Bala Leela, childhood pastimes, Bala Leela, from the age 1 to 5. Then 5 to 10 is Boganda Leela. So in the next session, we'll do Krishna's Boganda Leela. So just we have 5 minutes for some questions, if there is any. Yes, Hare Krishna.
So we're hearing that Krishna, he's rubbing his eyes and crying, and then he's thinking, oh, she's made such an effort, let her. So is he realizing he's God, or is he thinking that he's playing in a drama? So what is his mentality? Is he thinking, is it just a drama, or does he actually become, I'm afraid I'm going to get beaten?
Yeah, very good question. You see, I'm sure you acted on the stage also.
Yeah.
You know, a requirement of a good actor is that he has to become that character and totally forget himself, right? So that's how Krishna is playing his pastimes. He's the best actor also. And he is so much so that he becomes so much that character that he forgets himself. And there, behind that, there's a direction of a good director that makes the actor to forget, right? And the director is Yogamaya. So Yogamaya makes Krishna forget that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and that enables him to become the role that he is playing.
And yet sometimes he'll remember under the direction.
Yeah.
Now I'll let it. She can't bind me, but now I'll let her bind me.
Right. Yeah. Thank you. So I'll end now this session, and the next session will be from 5 to 7. So there's a 1 hour break. Okay, thank you all very much. Hare Krishna. Glories to Shri